Aloha everybody and welcome back to part 8 of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. We're just cutting things up with Yai here, which is still oh so satisfying to do. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's amazing. But yeah, we're back at the Dogo Hot Springs, and we couldn't get in before because the doors were locked, but now we have Ebisumaru and his new ability to turn tiny, to turn microscopic, itty-bitty, so that he can go into the mouse hole and come out on the other side. And I love this gag. Okay, so like, it's 1997, 98, it's an N64 game, and yet they still had the fun creativity and humor so that the front of the Dogo Hot Springs was a complete sham. It's a fake backdrop that's hiding a much deeper, much more sinister dungeon underneath. That's fun, you know, I think that's pretty creative, I think that's pretty neat, you know. They could have just had us go inside the building and then we were in another room and then we just go into the dungeon proper, but no. We got a fake backdrop leading in, I think that's pretty good. This is still an actual hot springs though. I have to imagine the Peach Mountain Shoguns transformed this place like they did Oedo Castle with their UFO laser beam. So there is a hot spring. And you can actually go inside of it. And I took intentional damage from the enemies because I wanted to show off that when you wait in the hot springs for a little bit, well, your health restores. Aw, yeah. It's a rule of video games, okay? It's a rule of video games. If you're gonna put a hot spring in there, it has to restore your health. And Mystical Ninja is no exception. No exception at all. The bottom opening looks just wide enough that I could crawl under here, but apparently you need to be tiny Ebisumaru in order to get through. Like seriously, when I start crawling as Goemon, it feels like what's gonna be pushed, what's gonna be, you know, blocked at all. Like my hair, maybe, but my hair can like fold and bend. That's not a wide enough hole, come on. That's what she said. But either way, folks, we are at the second dungeon of the game, 2 of 5, and oh, I love these animations. Sorry to get distracted, but I love Ebisumaru's animations because he has different animations depending on how fast he goes through these places, you know? Like, we saw on the Vine Bridge, when I was tiptoeing, he actually kind of like dog paddles in the air, like he's waving his arms in a weird way. When you go moderately fast, he starts skipping and hopping like a schoolgirl, like he's having fun. When you go really, really fast, he's flailing his arms about like he's running away, terrified of something. I just like that with all the different, you know, running speeds, with how fast you move your character, each of them has different animations, whether it's Goemon, whether it's Yai, whether it's Ebisumaru or Sasuke. Depending on how fast you go, they have different animations, and that adds a lot of charm to this game, because, you know, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and it's so appreciated. Oh my god. Either way, folks, this is the Peach Mountain Shogun's Ghost Toys Castle. This is the second dungeon of the game, which is why this video is as long as it is. So, things are gonna get a little intense, Right off the bat, we have ghosts in the first room. You can't hurt the ghosts. They can hurt you, though. Assholes. And when the red Dharma torch is used against this door, we can't open the door unless we light these torches. And how do we create fire? With our flaming Rio, which we got at Kampira Mountain. So now you know why I paid money to the money god so that I could get this tool. And that's like the last time I'm ever gonna need that. Seriously, like even for Fortune Cats, future dungeons, I'm never gonna need the flaming Rio ever again. Like, it seems like that's a one-use thing, unless you really want to take more damage to enemies, you know? It's something you can do. It's something you can do to the boss and stuff, but, you know. No more torches. No more torches. Mystical Ninja is very weirdly designed like that. It gives you abilities that you'll maybe use once or twice, and then you never need to use them again, and it's like, whatevs. Whatevs. The face in the front, the face that I'm going to be going up to that has the fortune cat on it, it kind of looks like a Lego head. A little bit. It has the same proportions as a Lego head anyway. But yeah, you hop up here, we got a fortune cat, and Booyah! My health bar increases by 1. Aw, yeah. This video is almost 30 minutes long because it's a dungeon. You know, I wanted to give it the full length it deserved. Some people ask me why I don't upload my videos to be long videos, you know. Why don't you upload like hour-long Let's Play videos, half-hour-long Let's Play videos, all that stuff? Why do you always go for 15 minutes whenever you can? Because I think 15 minutes is a good viewing time. I think that's the perfect amount of time, considering how many YouTubers you're probably subscribed to, how many things you have to do in your real life. I don't know how people have time to watch, like, hours upon hours upon hours of content. Like, good lord, you know? It's like, I've always wanted to get into the D&D group Critical Role, which is a whole bunch of voice actors and stuff. But, you know, they upload, like, 5-hour sessions to their YouTube channel and stuff. And I just don't have time for that. I know YouTubers who upload, like, hour-long videos daily. Like, an hour-long video Monday, an hour-long video Tuesday, an hour-long video Wednesday, and it's just like, all the power to you. If you like watching hour-long stuff, cool, but like, I got stuff to do, you know? I got a real life to live, and there's just, I only have so much time, and I got so many YouTubers that I'm watching, and I got so many shows and movies and games that I'm playing, and it's just like, I don't know how people have that much time to kill with that much stuff. So it's like, I want my videos to be 15 minutes usually, because it's just a normal, regular length. It's a good length of time, you know? That way you can watch all kinds of YouTubers besides me. That way there's lots of stuff you can move on to, you know? But sometimes I get a dungeon like this that's a little bit longer than 15 minutes, so I extend the length a little bit to make the starting and bookends of these videos appropriate, you know? I don't want to end halfway through the dungeon like I might have done in 2009, 2010. I want to end it at the end of the dungeon when I beat the boss. So this is why this video is a little bit longer than usual, and why the other videos are sometimes like 15 minutes, you know. Alright, there's a golden cat in front of us, and a tightrope leading to it. You might look at the rope, and you might think that you can't do anything with it yet, because it's a thin rope. But no, you can actually walk across it. It's a thing that I got stumped on as a kid, because I remember I immediately tried jumping on it, or at least walking on it, and I fell into the water immediately. So I assumed that I had to find a new ability, that I had to find Sasuke, the mechanical ninja bot, so that he could walk on the rope, because maybe he's the one who's small enough to actually do that. But no, doesn't matter what character you are, you can actually walk on the tightrope just fine and reach the golden cat.
What is it now?
What is it now? And the golden cat is a full heart. It is. You don't need 4 golden cats in order to get a heart. You only need 1 golden cat in order to get a heart. So yeah, I got 2 hearts in this one part alone. And there's still so many fortune cats left to find. Oh yeah. So many kitty cats, so little time. I think when you're actually like platforming in the water sections, I think the wooden objects that you're jumping on are supposed to be shogi pieces. Shogi being basically the Japanese chess, you know. I might be wrong about that. I've played shogi quite a few times, and these pieces look pretty identical. But, you know, I could be wrong. They could be referencing something else. But it is a Ghost Toys castle. There are some weird giant toys and proportions going on here, so I assume this is shogi. But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Why can't you just let me make believe? The darkest, saddest ending to any Batman show ever. Good lord. Anyway, folks, at the very beginning we saw a crane game, and now I've just activated the power. I've supplied the castle with electricity, and there's a silver key as well, and a fortune cat. Jesus, they're just giving me a lot, huh? But I've pumped electricity into this place, which means now I can play the crane game, which can give Ebisumaru a new toy to play with. Now, this one is actually very, very trial and error. Like, I remember the first time I played this, I must have been on it, must have been 5-10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes, because I kept getting the perspective of where the crane was in relation to the box, and sometimes you need to, like, jump off before it gets to the point you want it to get to. Like, if I think it's going to be at the middle, I don't want to jump off of it when it's at the middle. I want to jump off of it before it's at the middle, because there's a little bit of a delay of when the crane will actually stop, you know? But I actually got it on the first try for this Let's Play. I didn't mean to. My test playthrough, it took me 4 tries. But when I started recording, got it on the first go. Okay, so now we have the camera, and the camera is used to discover hidden objects, hidden things. I haven't actually used it for every single room in the game. You know, that's probably something I should have done as a kid, but I only really used it when it was relevant, and it seemed to help me just fine. None of the fortune cats are needed with the camera. Like, you don't get the fortune cats with the camera, I should say. So there's probably some secrets I don't know about. There's probably some hidden things that Konami put in that, like, this is for the really, really observant players. The people who are, like, using the camera every second they can, you know. But I don't use it in every single room. I don't know if there's any fun secrets to find with the camera. I just know that it's good for the moments they tell you to use it, and as well as the ghost enemies, because we couldn't take out the ghosts before. Now when you flash the ghosts, they will turn solid, and then you can hit them with the mallet. So, yeah. And sometimes you have to kill every single enemy in one of these rooms, because you never know when it might spawn a key. You never know when it might spawn a key. Something else I like about the dungeons is the dynamic music. Again, I know I keep saying this, but for a 1997, 1998 N64 game, I think it's really interesting and fun that the music is dynamic. So, like, it starts out, you know, kind of slow when you first get in, but when you go into, like, other rooms and you start opening, like, certain key doors and you start going deeper into this dungeon, they start adding more pieces to the music. They start adding more instruments, and the music starts getting more lively and more energetic and more exciting as it goes on. And I don't think of too many N64 games that did that, you know? Like, I think of, like, Ocarina of Time, it didn't do that. I think about Mario 64, it didn't do that. I think about, like, Crash Bandicoot games, and Crash Bandicoot didn't do that, as far as I know. I might be misremembering. I might be. But I can only think of, like, during this time period, Mystical Ninja is one of the few games that actually had the music update and change the further you went along. Dynamic music, you know? And, it's just fun. It's just fun, because it's like you're just going through the dungeon, and it just gets more lively and more energetic. But it's the same piece of music, and there's no, like, cut. You know, it's not like the music just loops from the beginning all of a sudden. It's not like they just transition. They actually wait until the loop's about to happen before they update the music, you know? Very fun, very unique, very interesting. I can't believe they were coming up with these ideas in 97, 96, whenever they were making this game. Because that's novel. This was the mid-90s. It was the mid-90s, and they're doing all this shit, you know? It's really, 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 really cool. I don't know what that was. I apologize. Now we're in the Velvet Room from Persona. We're gonna beat up Igor pretty soon. Nah, we're just gonna beat up these Daruma dolls. Yeah, I know what those are called. Darumas. This game calls them Daryas or something, but I think they're Darumas. Google told me they're Darumas. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think I'm a genius! I don't know. I don't know. So there's a lot of water that has been replaced with red water, which is blood water, poison water. Red, purple, it's one of those colors, but when you go into there, it will drain your health little by little the more you're in it. So it's not enough that I have to do this platforming with all these spinning platforms. I have to make sure I don't fall in, because then my body starts taking damage, and that's no good. Sometimes I find the jumping a little bit weird in Mystical Ninja. Like, I find sometimes, and especially I notice it when I'm actually platforming between the shogi pieces in the water. But it always feels like sometimes you get to the edge of a platform and the characters just kind of lose momentum as they jump. Or don't jump, as I just did right there. Oh god, it burns! It burns! Oh god! But, sometimes it feels like I try to jump for something, and my character goes straight up, but he doesn't go very forward. And then I don't have a lot of momentum when I'm making these jumps. And it doesn't happen too often. I would say the platforming is mostly good. But it does happen every now and then, especially when you have a platform that's spinning or moving or dipping into the water and stuff. And, you know, the game's not perfect. The game's not perfect. But it's damn close. It's damn close. I love this game. We got a big open room here, and we just want to go straight ahead and then move to every single door on the left as you go through it. Fuck off, ghost. Another situation where you want to kill every single enemy you see, because if you don't know what to do, when in doubt, defeat every single enemy you see. Booyah! Seriously, is that not a funky soundtrack? Is that not a funky beat for this dungeon? Oh my god, it's so good. So freaking good. Oh, and that reminds me, in case you're playing this and you're wondering where the cat that I didn't get is, like if you're trying to find all the fortune cats, you know the shogi pieces when I took the elevator down and it was above water? And you might have noticed there was something underneath the water, like you might have actually noticed like a indentation, some kind of structure down there. Well, I can't swim underwater. You know, whenever characters go into the water, they're always above it, and they can't go down under it until much later in the game when I get a new ability, and then I'll be able to go underwater, and there is a fortune cat underwater with this particular dungeon. However, I can't get that ability right now. There's no way to. I have to wait till much later in the game, so I'm going to be coming back for cleanup. There's a lot of cleanup fortune cats that I'll be coming back for. But, you know, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Just the way the cookie crumbles. Money! Money! I have no idea what Ebisumaru is saying, but I always go, money! What is it now? Chattanooga! See, game, you didn't have to tell me that. I saw the ghosts, and I was going to use the ability on the ghosts anyway. And it just would have been a fun bonus if the floorboards disappeared because of the camera, you know? But yeah, I use the camera here. It gets rid of all the fake floorboards so that you don't fall into the poison river. And they never come back. The effect never wears off. Until you leave the room, they're still going to be gone, so nothing to worry about there. I guess it's just a punishment for the players who are like, I see ghosts, I'm just going to run from them. But the sign's still warning you, hey, if you use your camera, you won't fall into the poison. And I'm just like, no, don't tell me. Don't handhold me, game. Don't tell me that I need to use the camera right now. I will do it. I will do it. And you will just let me discover these things, you know? Either way, I now have 4 lives. We picked up an extra life in that one room. But again, like I said, Mystical Ninja is not the most challenging game in the world. If you want to challenge yourself, don't pick up any of the fortune cats, because the less health you have, the more chance of you dying. And I have 4 lives. I'm not going to be losing a single one with this health bar. Good God. Good God, I have too much health. There is no way I'm losing all that health by now. And now we got a wacky room in here, because we go in the door and what the fuck? It's billiards! There's a big giant billiards table with all of these numbered balls and which one you have to hit. You only have to hit them in numbered order, but there's a red triangle showing you in case you can't see the number. And you don't have to be a crack expert billiards player. You just have to hit the balls and they will go into the holes by themselves. No matter how you hit them, from what angle, where it is in relation to anything else, don't you worry. You just have to hit it once, it'll go in the hole, no problem. But you still have to watch out because the billiard balls will damage you if they run into you. If the hitbox is, you know, not being generous. And yeah, the only thing that really sucks about this is that the camera is a little bit hard to navigate here. So sometimes you're looking for the ball that you have to hit, and it's just like, there's too much going on, there's too many balls going on around the table. And, you know, it's just a little tricky, but nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. You know, it's funny. Earlier in the first dungeon, in Oedo Castle, I brought up that the aesthetics of this game kind of reminds me of Chameleon Twist and Mischief Makers and games like that. Chameleon Twist also has a billiards table that you hit the balls into. I guess that was just a popular thing to do in the N64 era. I don't know, but it's just a fun coincidence. Camera, would you stop freaking out? Good lord. Again, sometimes you spin the camera and it just decides to spin around for no reason. The camera is not perfect in Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, but anytime you see the camera circling around me for no reason, that wasn't me. That was the game locking up, and me just trying to recenter my balance and just being like, stop spinning, please, it's distracting. There's that jump shit I was talking about. I usually probably should have made that jump, but for whatever reason, I didn't have any forward momentum when I actually attempted the jump. And I just fell into the poison river, so I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that, but, you know. Game's not perfect. Game's not perfect. Unlike Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the most perfect game ever made. Metropolis Zone is good, you heathens. No problems whatsoever. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we have conquered this dungeon. Now we just have a boss to face off with. And luckily, they're very generous and they give us a sign telling us how to win. Find the Darmanio's weak point using the wind-up camera. Could have discovered that on my own. You know, we just got this ability. Would have been nice, but whatever, game. Whatever. The surrender robot, eh? Okay, so right off the bat, you want to use the camera, and you don't actually have to aim at the boss. You can aim it at the walls, you can aim it at anything. As long as you use the camera, it lights up the whole entire room, regardless of where you're aiming it. And this exposes the boss's weak point, which is his heart. And every time he does an attack, whether it's launching missiles, whether it's slashing at you, whether it's dragging his arm across or jumping around, whatever, his body will become transparent and then his heart will be exposed, and you won't actually take contact damage from his body while his body is transparent. I guess he's part ghost, since the ghosts become parent when you use the ghost on them, or the camera on them, I should say. So maybe he's a ghost boss? I don't know. I just know his weak point shows up every time he does any kind of animation, and if you're really quick and lucky about it, you can get 2 hits in before he moves on to the next move. And the arena is also surrounded with poison water. So if you do go all the way to the edge, you'll land in the water, and the water will damage you. So don't run too close to the edge here. Don't run too close to the edge. But like I said, I've been picking up lots of fortune cats. I have so much health. Every time they hit me, it only does like half a heart worth of damage, not a full heart worth of damage. So I can take a lot of hits in this fight, and this guy, he cannot. So nothing to it, nothing fancy smancy. That is the Darmanio. And we got ourselves another trinket, like we did with the first Congo boss. The Miracle Flower. Boo Boo-hoo, he beat me up! I was only giving the kids a lesson in Peach Mountain dancing! Colon, your plan did not work, did it? Who are you? Aha! I'm the leader of the Peach Mountain Shoguns! In the fresh spring breeze, sha-la-la, I come alive, la-la! These beautiful visions appear before my eyes, la-la! Yes, I am. You know I am. The one they call Spring Breeze Dancin'! What an intro. Hey you, what's your face? Dancing something or whatever. What do you have up your sleeves? Up my sleeves? You mean, like my armpits? We're not talking about that kind of sleeve. Pretty sharp, Antonio. You caught on to my joke. Antonio? Who's Antonio? Sir Danson will choose a name for you himself if he feels it suits the person. You can't just... Colon, we're done with this place. We've got to prepare for our next plan. Return at once. Yes, sir. Bye for now, Fernandez. We shall meet again. Wait a minute, who's Fernandez? He was looking at you when he said it. Remember, I will not let you get in the way of our great stage plan. What's a gorilla steak plan? That's not what I said! It's a great stage plan! Anyway, don't come to the Chukoku region no matter what! Oh no, he's getting away again by spinning himself. Yes, but first, we must focus on getting to the Chugoku region. And booyah, that is the second dungeon of the game, ladies and gentlemen, the second dungeon. So if he names everybody whatever he wants to name them, does that mean that the pink guy's name isn't Colon? And that he called him Colon for some reason? Why would he feel the need to call him Colon? Anywho, folks, come back for part 9. Till then.